God. Oh God. Oh God.
Alright, Lone Wolf Podcast, basically here again, doing another video in reference to some Nicole Arbour and Jordan Peterson video that I was on YouTube watching. And he actually made some reference to females in dating, and I felt that it would be a good topic, and actually brought a female on to discuss it too. So, made a couple clips and just gonna see what we can see what he says and what her feelings is on it, as well as mine too. So I think it can apply to men as well. So.
I think that the data suggesting that women mate across and up hierarchies is true, and that men mate across and down. That looks to me to be true.
So what do you feel about that? He said that women date across and up, and men date across and down in hierarchies.
Okay. In essence, for the majority of time, women will go, I say, across and up.
Uh-huh.
But I do feel that there are women that do go across and down.
Uh-huh.
I mean, how many times do you find, I remember lose Nicki Minaj, for example, no offense, lover, but this dude, I believe, is from her hometown, so when she knew prior to he was in prison, and now she's this mega superstar, and he's just this convict, and they ended up getting married and having a baby. Well, she didn't necessarily go across and up. She kind of went across and down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm just being realistic here. And lately, you've been seeing that though, where these women are uber successful, but they're getting convicts or something like that. There was a basketball player, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that ended up helping this guy trying to get out of prison, and she ended up marrying him too. Now, I'm not really around the specifics of the story because he could have been wrongfully convicted or not, but the point is that still with him being wrongfully convicted or not, you don't even know what he's gonna be trying to do when he gets out, what his plans are, how long has he been in there, you know, because you know, being in a prison after so long, life has passed you by, so you don't know really what's going on out here. So now you have to try to play catch up, and that's if you can play catch up. Where's your, you know, can you? Are you? I don't want to say smart.
I'm gonna pause and give you some pushback.
Okay, go ahead, push me.
Okay, so basically, are these women black?
Well, yes, Nicki Minaj is black.
Well, when you said Nicki Minaj, you said Beyonce. I thought you referenced another female.
The other female was the best way she black though too.
Because I think with black women, it's a little bit more distinct than just white women. There's been some studies conducted, and they basically said that black women are the least desired women. So I think at the same time, where a general woman might want to, unfortunately, I think at the same where any woman might really want to date up. I think when we're talking about the social dynamic, I don't think black women may have that same confidence to think that they can get that guy if they're trying to date up. I think generally a woman would want to date up, but I don't think as black women they can based on how they're viewed in society. So I think they just off of that alone, they're already going lower.
Well, I mean, if you take that case, that study too, but then you can also take the case of what about people, white women that you would call, and sometimes usually push towards white people, when they call them trailer trash.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they would still be the ones in essence.
So in essence, those I would say they're gonna go across and down as well. You know, but I think generally, and just maybe not even just a women thing,
but
maybe
not all.
Everybody, yeah, I think, but generally not just a men thing, but more. I mean, not just a women thing, more a men thing as well. We generally want to date across and up, you know what I'm saying? And actually, I'll say that back. Men no, because men obviously want to be leaders in the house. We want to make the most money, so we want across and down. We probably don't want the equal status partner, you know what I'm saying?
No, because that's not even the case anymore. See, I mean, maybe back in the day, and I'm gonna say maybe 20 years ago, when things were more traditional, so to speak, where the man was the head of the household, but nowadays you kind of come to the point where now women are more that have the household. So men, to me, y'all just getting where you getting at in your parent, no offense.
I mean, I think now, I mean, it's different because there's a study once again that said more women are going to college than men now too. So obviously, you got to gain more higher jobs, but then you still got the same thing. Like you got athletes who are always gonna make more money in their certain sports. Like the NBA players always make more money than a WNBA player. So you still got to have men that's gonna make more money than women somehow, some way. You know what I'm saying? You got to do it the legal way. Like Master P, he did it legal way and then made it legal. And, you know, he still make money. You know, Jay-Z is another story. You know, so I think from a general standpoint, I think that hierarchy is true. But I think obviously I look at it from a different way for men, where they're saying we date across and down. I think that's more. I think it's true to the fact, but not in the way that he kind of means it. Meaning,
I don't think that. I think when it goes across and down, I'm not trying to cut you off. I just did. When we say men go across and down, I mostly relate that to sadly the stigma of a high CEO dating his or being with his mistress usually, but is his secretary or sometimes even married their secretary. That would be across and down. That's where I see that from.
Yeah, and so I think there's different ways you can view it across and down too. What I was going to get to is basically like, you know, let's just say men are visual creatures, so we may say we want Cardi B, but I think that can be viewed, while some may say that's a crossing up for a man, I think that is a crossing down. She made a song about WAP, saying she doesn't cook, she doesn't clean. Do you really think that's in a crossing up? But visually, we think she's in a crossing up, but characteristically, she's probably like a legit crossing down. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, because I love me some Cardi B, so I'm going to hit you right here. Realistically, and we're going to go this from the route that she's a celebrity.
Mm-hmm.
Which celebrity you really think actually cooks and cleans? Not anyone, they probably don't really watch
Well, I got one. Well, she's not a celebrity, but she did have. She was on TV, but
you know, when you see not a lot of them are as hands-on.
Well, okay, I use a celebrity for example, but that's not the end all be all. What I'm saying is, what I was getting at is, like I said, we are visual creatures, so I think a lot of times we just want the baddie, but the baddie is just good, you know.
To look at.
She's good to look at, but she's not good for anything else. So in essence, that isn't a cross and down for men. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I don't think a man is gonna ever go across and up because he doesn't want the one that's more powerful than him. He wants, like I said, he wants to be the breadwinner, he wants to be the protector, he wants to be this and that. So it's hard for him to go across and up. So I think generally the hierarchy where it says women go across and up and men go across and down is true.
But then it makes you seem like men don't want basically a woman to be smarter than you. So basically us women or even make more money than you, because that's kind of like what it is.
I think
you're gonna go for the bimbo because she's only making $10 an hour, but you're making $25 an hour, but you're not gonna go with the woman that works with you that you probably fool with half the thing.
So I think because it's a situation where a man and woman come together and they can build together, I think then it's gonna be better. But I think you got an established woman already, a man's not gonna really try to go for that unless he's established as well. Or equal.
Well, then
I don't think he's gonna go higher. You know, I don't think he's really gonna try to dig up. Unless you got like a cougar who's going for it. You know what I'm saying?
It happens.
It does. But in that case, I think, you know, a man will go across and up. But generally, I don't think so.
I mean, I do agree with men going across and down. I do believe that. I think that the women do we go across and up, yeah, but then I do still believe that they go across and down too. I think it's a 50-50 thing. I don't think it's the majority going across and up because, you know, especially if you go off of where it's what you consider up.
Well, and that, so let me ask you with this though. What do you see more of in society when it comes to, in reference to a female woman crossing up? Do you see more of, let's use athletes for the biggest example we can go with. They generally have women at equal status, or they have somebody that's lesser, but have generally like eye candy though on their arms though.
Generally,
so we would say in essence that a woman is dating up in that sense. You know, I think generally women want, well, we was watching earlier, the alpha or established guy. So I think generally women want to date up, but like I said, I think men. I think we do date down, but I think just a caveat to that is the reasons I mentioned that, you know, for certain reasons, you know, we're visual until we get to a certain age where we understand that basically the beauty will fade. We're just gonna keep dating across and down. But I think it's true, but for different reasons what he may have stated that.
But women may want to cross it up, but if I'm just like, if I know that I can achieve that, if my self-esteem is low, I'm like, oh, he's like this top-notch guy, like he has it all, the house, the money, the cars, let's not really just go up on money, but he has it going on for himself, he has no home, good business he's working for or owns, whatever the case may be. If you feel that you cannot get that, you cannot, get with a man of that stature, then you're going to go across and down yourself.
Yes, and that goes to one of the earlier points you made. So yeah, but generally, you agree with it or not?
No.
You don't? Okay.
Well, I give it to him. You know what? I'm gonna give him a 50-50. If you would say that half the people or women would do that, then yeah. But everything to me, it all comes off of the situation of how it goes. And situation, when we're going off of celebrities, they're the harder ones to use because obviously, every celebrity, whether they're a man or women, the person that they're getting is always going to be beneath them unless they're going with a celebrity too.
Yeah, I do that. But those are the quick examples I can think of.
Yeah, but though all those a quick example is a bad example because they're always going to be up. So if you're already a woman that's already up, and a man trying to date you, then they basically went across and up. Now you basically hear mostly about the groupies, supposedly of women that are chasing after these NBA, NFL, MLB stars or whatever. Yeah, they're going obviously across and up too. But and they're obviously going across and up. But 9 times out of 10. Well, they're only doing the dude.
But I think generally we can say that a woman would want a man as a leader unless she is alpha, and then basically she's becoming the man that basically my Rolla said earlier, she's becoming the man that she wants to date. You know what I'm saying? So you say 50-50, I agree with him. And we'll go to the next clip on after that.
Alrighty.
I don't know if I can pull this one up. Let's see.
But I particularly think it's not in the good interest of young women. I also don't think it's in the good interest of young men because I think it teaches them to be psychopathic predators fundamentally. No, I mean that. I don't see there's any way out of this because if you repeatedly practice taking sexual intimacy out of the broader context, that's what you're practicing. Well, how is that not? It's shallow because it's shallow by definition because it's only the pursuit of hedonistic pleasure decontextualized. You don't know the person, you don't know their story, you're not involved in an ongoing adventure, you're not contributing to one another's lives, you're not dependent on each other, there's no relationship there. So
it's just a quick hit. Yep.
It's a quick contextless hit. Well, so then what is it? So
we're talking about the Tinder. So basically Tinder he was talking about Tinder and how it has like the status of like it's just to find somebody and bang them. And he was saying like it's just it can kind of create like psychopathic predators because basically with Tinder to talk to somebody they have to like you on Tinder. Like just if you get the swipe left, you're not gonna ever see that person. You know what I'm saying? So you're basically, you know what I'm saying? I like you, based off this picture, and you're coming together, and then it basically can lead to sex or whatever. So that's what he was getting at. So he was saying it kind of creates a psychopathic predators, and that basically you're having context-free sex. Which he went on further later on. I don't know if I had that clip either, but he mentioned how he believes that sex is better with intimacy than just a context-free hit.
Well, duh.
But why do we still do it in this society? We're maybe not you, you're a little bit older than me. I'm 28 though. We're still in the hookup culture. Like where I'm in, we're in the hookup culture. Like literally when I was in high school, we had hookup culture. We had high school. You know what I'm saying? Like, we both grew up in Bragg County. It was wild. We used to worry about dudes running trains on women. Like, it was wild. There's one chick, these dudes running a train on her. She was talking about she wanted to become a porn star in high school. Like it's wild, you know what I'm saying? So and then
she had her dream, you know.
yeah, I guess so. That's where your dream is going. But
it's your dream. Hey, go for it.
But what do you feel about online dating since it's so prevalent in this culture?
Okay, I guess because I am a little bit older than you. And obviously we've grown up in an age where cell phones became the big thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were at we were around when you had the little beepers and the pagers too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the flip phones and then
flip phones.
Right, still have payphones outside. We were out at that age. And then we came up to when you get the sidekicks and all. We went through all that phase. We through that phase. So. With that being said, at that time, you still had the phase where guys had to approach you, to talk to you, they wanted to be with you, or they could text you, or they could call you, but there was nothing telling you to swipe left and right. You either gonna call me and ask you, or whatever. You gonna ask for my number, we're gonna get to the go. When it comes to online dating, the reason why I don't like it, and I'm gonna agree with him, actually 100% everything he's saying on this point. Because you lose the whole connection point. Usually when you're looking at someone, you can be attracted to someone, but usually you always have you're not going to approach someone out of the blue like, hi, you're beautiful, I want your number. Like usually sometimes back in the day you might like, oh, she's pretty, I'm gonna ask her for her number. You might have. But you guys are going to go on a couple of dates. You're going to see each other in person. It's not just going to be through a phone. You might call each other too, but you get all of that. And then there's something that's pursued there, whereas with Tinder and stuff, it's not a pursuant thing of actually starting a relationship. It has become a hookup thing. And do I believe it makes men psychopathic predators? Not all of them, man. I mean, I think it makes some women do the same thing because they're on the same thing, you know? But,
and just for the same reasons, like you look good.
Yeah, like you cute, I cute, but no, not really. Even if you have these little bios on there that tells you about the guy, I mean, let's be honest, who's not gonna lie on their bio? Like I'm pretty sure somebody on their bios that says I like long walks from the beach. I listen to Elton John or something.
So I've actually dealt with Tinder before, and you actually have women on there don't have bios. They're physically appealing, and that's what they work off of.
But they know exactly what the outcome's gonna be. Either you're just gonna find someone that just sees you as a pretty face, and they just wanna put you a notch in your belt. They're not looking for a relationship because that's not really what it is. I mean, even like you had there was this one that had an actual commercial on TV about how people.
Huh? Just playing those. You got Messi, Harmony.
Harmony, that's what it was actually, that particular one. Where they're like, oh yeah, these people got together for Harmony, but it was like 2016, whatever the case may be. Okay, got married. Okay, yeah, y'all were known for, I guess, putting people together for a relationship, but at the end of the day, you still miss if that person has to have the same thought process you have. Thought process. If y'all are not on that, so y'all would literally have to talk, and that means that us as women are gonna have to go through the guy that right for him, like, oh, he's cute, and the next thing he texts us to say, send me a dick pic, or he wants a picture of your boobs or something. It's true.
And I think that goes down to that's the generation we're in. So but it's saying you can choose as a woman or a male and say you can obviously cancel the like or whatnot if you want to. But here's my thing, I'm gonna say I don't I agree with kind of what he's saying in terms of we're just liking so we're coming together. So I think men lose the fear of actually being rejected in person, which like I say, it is a hurtful thing, but it does have to happen at some point. We all got rejected. Even in school when we was younger, we did I like you notes and then you had check box and they wouldn't know me like,
That's normal. Like here.
Sometimes you got blink.
Oh my God. That would be the worst thing, and I know I've been going to put baby on a couple of things. We're like, maybe. I don't know. Because I don't want to hurt your feelings and reject you.
So you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, but yeah, some dudes that fear of men have to go through rejection. But I think the online dating, if you're pursuing it right, like obviously there's more ones that we consider more classic, like Bumble or Hinge. I think it is necessary because I think like men like myself, I work 12-hour shifts during the week, and then obviously my days off, or obviously I'm free then. But even then I'm not, because I do boxing and I gotta do my own things as being a single male. I think it is necessary for certain men that is more busier in life because they might need that. 'Cause it's hard to go out to the bar or to the club, or you don't even want to go to those places because of your moral guidelines. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I think online dating is necessary. You know what I'm saying?
It's necessary when it's used in the way it should be used to begin with, what it was intended for. So but it's not being used that way.
I think if you want more maturity, you might want to just indicate that, and if they have a setting where you can put in ages, you might want to indicate you want probably older. Here's the thing, even when older doesn't mean they're mature. Age really is just a number.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's a tricky situation. I think you just gotta go through a lot to find the right person, or maybe you can. I don't know. But I think online dating is a necessary thing. But anything else you want to add to that?
Necessary, yes and no. Well, I mean, I don't think it's necessary. When it comes to maybe certain careers, then yes, maybe. Mm-hmm. And still, at the end of the day, because I know, like you probably I'm a believer that you probably shouldn't date where you work at, or the whole saying is don't shit where you lay or whatever the hell it goes, something like that. But you so you might not want to work get someone out in your work area. But I mean, so going out to a club, which realistically, when you're going out to the club, you're going out there for a hookup. You're not going out there to find your next husband or your next wife.
Okay. So I'll say you're not probably going to find your next husband or next wife. I kind of agree on that, but. To the hookup method, I would say not necessarily. I have been to the club, and honestly, I went there, I drank, and I danced, and I kicked rocks. You know what I'm saying? Because what you gotta understand, me obviously, I'm a guy of faith, so I'm not out trying to run through women. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a virgin either. So I can go out there too. But at the same time, I'm just not. My goal is not to run through women. You know what I'm saying? Like I do want to abstain for marriage, but I failed, but. Yeah, I pick myself back up and we're back at it again. So, I mean, but as men of faith, I do try. We have our flaws. We all mess up. Like, I curse a lot. That's part of the game. But either way.
The point is, and the reason why I say is for hookups. Okay, so obviously, being in the military. At a young age, and basically coming in the military from 17 to 26 is when I got out, or 25. I've gone to the club obviously a lot, and maybe more than this a lot, but I've been there, okay? And I know that basically you have men that are just coming there just to probably have a good time, and when I say men that's coming there, that's probably like 2 out of the whole 100 men that are in the club. So you were part of that too.
I was that too.
You were those 2
I was in the military with no good moves. I was out there trying to have fun.
Yeah, but women necessarily, we don't come there to get a hookup necessarily either. Mm-hmm. We come there, sad to say, because we know we're gonna wear probably the skimpiest outfit or the tightest outfit we got to get what? Some male attention. Is it always going to be good male attention? No. Mm-hmm. And then you add your alcohol on top of that. So now you're extra bold, and that makes the men extra bold. And then they're going to try to go out there and talk to you. Somebody probably never approached you before in their life. Mm-hmm. You're going to go and approach you now. They have their liquid courage going on. And same thing go to a girl woman. She probably never approached this guy in her life, but she got her liquid courage going on. She all over her. And probably making out women in the club too. But you get that. And a lot of times you see women that may have came with somebody, a friend or something, like, hey girl, I'm going out with this dude. People do go there and actually for a hookup. Necessarily that was their thought process. Their thought process wasn't to go there and just get drunk. Some people are. Some of them just go there to drink. Some of them just go there to dance. Some of them just go there to hook up. And some people just go there just to, because they friends are along, they just gotta be there. Or somebody just be the DD. Whatever the case may be. But you do have people there for hookups, but you're not going there for a relationship. So I wouldn't say
Yes,
you're
I
going
agree with
anywhere.
that point.
You know, as far as getting to know somebody, a lot of times it's even when it comes to dating, it's usually everybody you know. Sometimes you know, a friend of a friend. That is how you usually get with somebody. You know, or just somebody you meet, and hey, if it happens to be somebody you work with, hey, by all means.
And so
you do.
if you can't get that, then I think online dating is an avenue. Anyway, you gotta move on to the next one.
It
You
is.
spend a lot of time on that.
Oh my bad.
That's weird. Hey, you gotta get on with some food.
I do, because I gotta do first in the bed.
So you gotta get your duties.
Go ahead.
Also, it's a rule of thumb. I would also say that generally, if you're female and young and attractive, it's in your best interest and in the best interest of the person that you're dating to say no for as long as you possibly can. If for no other reason, then it's without that, well, where's the game?
Okay, so let's try to look at this from a different avenue. You got, remember in Girlfriends, the show, Joan, she had like that 3-month rule.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's kind of like saying no as for as long as possible. Obviously, hers was like it's like a marriage sense, but I think she used it more like use it to see if a man really liked her for her rather than just sex.
Mhm.
So I think that's actually a wise. Obviously, a man faith. I'm a little stupid, but I think that's kind of wise. And if you are looking for like a long-term relationship with somebody that they're there for you and not just for sex. You got any?
And that also goes off of the Steve Harvey's book.
Oh, yeah, Think Like a Man, yeah, which became 2 movies.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he was like, basically I'm having sex with them, giving what she had. I think he had 3-month rule. I think it was a 6. Something was the case.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm like this way. There's nothing saying that people haven't had a long lasting relationship with the person they had sex with the first night. There's nothing saying that didn't happen.
Yeah, but I can agree. I can agree.
I mean, and it does happen. I mean, at the end of the day, it's you as a person. I mean, you putting that on a person, I mean, oh, that's trashy. No, it's not. You want to get some and they want to get some, okay, that's what it is.
Well, basically, like kind of wasting less. If it's just a context for it, then I mean, it is what it is. But what is that?
But
what is? Yeah, I'm saying in a relational value, what is that doing long term for you? Or are you just gonna say I'm gonna get used up, so I meet this random age where I can just see, now I'm 32 years old. Now I want to settle down. That just doesn't work like that. You know what I'm saying? So
I said that.
and I think you're wrong. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll look at it this way. If you're just doing context-free sex, okay, fine, whatever. We're just doing the deal just to do it.
Mm-hmm.
As far as your relationship goes, you're gonna do anyway.
So
you cannot. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna be honest with you. I believe in testing the products. Okay. I do not want to
how
have
fast?
possibly day one. Okay.
Well,
Because
I disagree with that.
I mean, you might maybe not day one. Okay, I'm just trying to be funny. Oh, my bad. I'm just being a little funny, but I mean, maybe after maybe like a couple of weeks, maybe 1 month. I'll give it a month.
Mm-hmm.
And figure out if actually I just like you, because if I don't like you, we're not having sex. I mean, unless it's just want to have sex with you just to have sex with you. But if I'm looking at relationship wise and I want to, whatever, I see that happening and I'm disappointed with, then yeah, I'm probably not gonna have sex with you that early.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'm not saying it can't happen. But do I believe that I want to know? I don't want to be putting all this thing into, oh my God, I really like you. Then we have sex and we sitting here looking like, that was the most horrible sex I've ever had in my life.
So here's
like, oh my God, he smells funny. He sweats all over me. And like, he's like, oh my God, her vagina smells like fish. And I don't know what's going on.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you some pushback in that realm. Not for like the hygiene, like that's something you gotta fix. But
not me, I'm just saying.
that's true. What I'm saying, I'm saying in general, like for that person that we're just talking about, which is a made up person, But I'm gonna give some pushback into this, which Andy Stanley, he's a pastor, he actually made a great point. He said basically you're sexually compatible with thousands of people. My thing is, we can literally learn how to be sexually compatible with somebody. You know what I'm saying? If you get where I'm going, like you can literally read a book and probably get better. Where are you talking about? Just like, we can go different routes. Are you talking about penis size, he just doesn't know what he's doing. Like, I believe you can pick up, you can learn, and you can make sex better between you and that person if you really want to.
You can. But then there's this, okay, it's just like dancing. So you have some guys that just believe in jacket. Bam. When there is actually more to sex than just you going bam. You know, and can you try to teach them to not just do, you can try, but there's some people, there's just no saving them.
So, but like I said, I think there is an option that a person can get better if they work at it. And I think men and women, generally, you gotta learn each other what they like and don't like anyway. So it doesn't have to happen either way. So
that's conversation though, and that's just your first step.
Which obviously I think if you actually are in a relationship and you communicate, then that can work. Obviously, if you're just there for banging, no.
Just there for banging. Hey, I mean, you gotta know what you're working with sometimes, and sometimes, you know.
Alright, so here's the next one.
But also with men, if you're a woman, as if they're a source of instant context-free gratification, how are you not training yourself to treat human beings as if they're nothing but instant sources of context-free gratification?
So this goes into reference a little bit about earlier. He's basically saying if we're so some parts I can add on because like I said I watched it, so I remember he's basically saying that if we're training ourselves to basically be people that are just banging, like we're just in the hookup culture. How are we training ourselves? We're basically training ourselves to be like that later. And like I said earlier, it's like we're not going to reach this magical age where it's time to settle down. We may think that, but we've trained ourselves all the way to this point to be this way. It's going to be hard to convert to this. You know what I'm saying? So I think, you know.
I don't know if I really agree with that.
In what way?
You know, just the whole thing of if you're just doing hookups, you're not going to be able to settle down wherever.
Okay, so I need to show you this video. It's biological research that it basically, the research shows that men and women are different. Basically, they said if a woman has a certain amount of sex with this many guys, that basically in marriage she will be less happy in marriage. I think it was like 4 to 6 guys. After that, she will be less happy in marriage. Is what the research shows. Now for the men, unfortunately, basically. And the research said for the men, basically, it's opposite. Basically, that men we're viewed as higher status because that probably we had this X amount of sex, X amount of women. We made most likely know our way around a woman's body. So that's what the research showed. And it was from the Atlantic, which is a notable paper. That's what was research. I'll show you the video later, but actually did say that. So.
Okay, I don't believe that to be true because you can have a man that has sex with 20 women and none of them ever got off on it, and doesn't mean he don't go around the clock.
Because nobody's telling him.
Exactly.
He's
so he's like the king, and I'm like, no. They're only giving you because you probably look cute, and then they had something and it was trash. So I mean,
but even with the men, I think it applies to men with women as well. Now, basically, even with men, basically, if you're just running around. Get like Nick Young, he's an former NBA player. He basically ran around was with Iggy Azalea and he was cheating on her with multiple women too. And he basically said, you know, I watched this one podcast again. He basically like, yo, like, you know, hey, this chick I'm with now, I knew her in high school and she won. And that thing kind of is because like he trained himself to be a certain way, and now that he's not playing NBA anymore and he's getting older and it's not just that easy to run around anymore. Now he's just like at this magical age where he can just settle down and. I don't think he really even wants to. It's more kind of because he's leaning to the fact that he has to. So he's training himself to be a certain way, and you can't be that way forever. You know what I'm saying?
You can tell some people
that. I realize Hugh Hefner. And I don't think Hugh Hefner was Hugh Hefner. I think he just was rolling around with women. I don't think he was doing anything with it. Let's be honest. But what I'm saying is basically, if you're going to train yourself to be a certain way, I think, like long term, I don't think it's gonna be successful. Like if I train to run, I do my short runs, and I don't train for boxing. If I get into a boxing match, I'm probably gonna lose. You know what I'm saying? Like basically, if I'm training myself to be a certain way, you get what I'm saying? Like basically, if I'm training myself, I'm gonna bang all these type of women. It's gonna be hard for me to settle down when I get older because I've trained myself to be this type of person.
Well, I mean, yes and no. Sometimes you can just bang on people and it's just because that's just all you want to do. But you still have contact physical contact still with other people.
But if you're saying that I want to get married, how is that going to benefit you?
Because
from what you're doing right now?
Let's just say, what is that movie called? It's basically the movie the guy lost his penis, okay? Because like
the Mark Wahlberg one?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've seen it. Oh,
No.
okay.
No, it wasn't Michael. Whatever. Basically, like he was a whore, basically, and he lost his penis, and then he had to basically do right to get his penis back, basically, because all he did was sleep around with chicks, right? But he ended up, he was a personal trainer, and he was training this one chick that he, that wanted to lose some weight before she went to her friend or sister's wedding, whatever. And he ended up falling for this girl. And they ended up dating. Now, I mean, obviously, we don't know if it happened 10 years down the line or even 2 days down the line, if they actually stayed together or not, because the movie ended there. But the point that I make is that you can always be that person that's going to stick around with everybody. It doesn't mean that you cannot find that one person that may just turn the life around for you. Even sometimes, like, you can't just, because I don't think that we're all, I was talking to a friend about this earlier. When he was saying that men and women think different. And I was like, yeah, we do to an extent, but usually when it comes to certain things, we have a common goal. It's just how we get to that goal is totally different. But you're eventually gonna get to that goal. So even if you slept around a lot of women, but your goal at the end of the day is when they get married, you're still gonna get there. Just the way you got there doesn't mean you're not gonna get there.
But I think you're training yourself in a bad way though. It's gonna be hard to commit to one. It's just like if you're an addict to porn, it's gonna be hard to commit to one woman because you just have, you spend your life watching a bevy of porn, bevy of women. It's gonna be hard to settle down with one or even stop watching porn if you get married.
I mean, no. I mean, let's be honest. Like, you can be a 90-year-old.
That's true in a lot of cases. So.
Yes and no. I don't believe that to be 100% true because you still have.
Well, nothing's set in stone. I mean,
that's why you even say 99% true because I do believe that even women, men know. How many I knew a guy. I'm not gonna put his name out there. When I was in the military, he slept around with a lot of freaking people. He got out of the army. He got married, and he's happy. He didn't get divorced, but then he got remarried again. But still the point right now, he's happy again. Okay, so he's happily married.
Now,
but he's slept around with all these women.
Well, for one, is he really happy? Because obviously people go on the front, so we don't know that. And two,
sure enough.
And two, is the other person happy? You know what I'm saying?
You know what? Maybe I should talk to him a little bit more and figure that out.
Don't do that if you're not best friends. Then you're gonna be fighting with a person. But I'm just saying. But I think generally, yes, if you're training yourself a certain way, that's what you're gonna be, and you gotta look at for things in the long run as well. So
if they're separating sex is just an act to do and not something to do with the relationship, which is what people do. Sex is just sex, it's not a relationship. So you're not really training yourself for nothing, but just having sex is just sex.
Yeah, and yeah.
If you want a relationship, you're going to get one. They're not just going to keep banging women.
If you want a relationship, you can't just sit there and just have sex around different people and be like, hey, I want to have a real relationship. But yeah, I'm sleeping around. That's counterintuitive.
Well, you can have an open relationship.
Well, let's see how Will Smith worked with that one.
I think she was in an open relationship alone when he wasn't there.
That's the story of another day. Moving on. Shoot, I don't remember what exactly. Well, that was 5-4 something. Okay, so. Which nobody knew that was set in stone. Will Smith and Jada was an open relationship or not. That it was a rumor. Well, yeah, we really don't know.
I really don't think they're going to say that it was so that way when we look back that she was actually cheating on him.
Well, we already know she technically did, although they was technically split up when the
entanglement happened.
Yeah, but moving on.
You're entangled, all right.
What are the right rules? Don't do anything with anyone that you couldn't talk to them about. If you feel uncomfortable talking about what you're doing, you don't have a level of psychological intimacy that should allow for that level of physical intimacy.
Basically, if you can't say out in public with pride, basically you probably shouldn't have done it. You know what I'm saying? In essence, that's what I think, yeah.
I'm gonna say out in public, just, to your partner. There's something you shouldn't say.
Well, let's say you're kicking with friends. It's something you don't want to tell your friends. I think probably you shouldn't have done it. You know what I'm saying? You know, so I think that's I agree with the statement.
I think so. I mean, mostly I think that just comes down to your partner too. If you can't really speak about it really goes on to what you would like too. If you can't even speak to them about what you like, whether it be something that you like fish in bed with you when you having sex or whatever. You don't know about it, but no, I'm not saying I do. If you want some weird shit, you can't talk to the next person about it, then you probably shouldn't be doing it because you're gonna end up that's gonna make you become a cheater because you like what you like. That's what you like, and you're gonna talk about it, whatever. But I think when he says basically, let's just say anal sex for example. If I'm not saying even just to talk to your friends about it, but if you're not willing to have a conversation together, about it, then why are you doing it? Because how do you know how the other person feels about it? If you're just doing it just to do it, but you guys never talked about it, how do you know how that person actually feels about it?
So I'm gonna push back. So once again, he's talking about the dating round. If you're so it goes back to what we were just talking about. If you're saying if you can't tell your partner you slept around this with X amount of people, let's say you have a high body count. If you can't tell your partner that, are you in essence saying that basically you shouldn't have done that?
I don't think that it should matter about someone's body count. Why? To me, I love this statement. I love when we get on this right here. Whatever I have done in my past, as far as who I've had relationships with, should not be part of that's not my future.
So you think it doesn't matter? So you think if you slept with a dude and we're in the same club right now, that I probably shouldn't know?
What?
So you're saying that it shouldn't matter. Let's say you slept with a dude who was literally in the club with me right now. You think I shouldn't know that?
That would be something that should be known. There are situations, but you shouldn't be trying to ask me. Well, how was it?
No, I don't think in general, man, because Malcolm X, his book is amazing. I think everybody should read it. It should be required reading in school, if you ask me. But he said, never ask anyone about her past because he's gonna either lie to you or give you like an incorrect total. And so in essence, I don't think men should in general be asking about the body count. I think for one, you're probably gonna understand what type of one you got if you're with her for a amount of time anyway. Let's just be honest here. Mm-hmm. But if just somehow you're so blinded by your love for this woman, I think it is worthwhile that you kind of I lost my goddamn train of thought, so. But yeah, either way, I think. Yeah, I lost train of thought, so you can go ahead.
I don't think it's necessary to be known.
Here's the thing. I don't think, like I said, I don't think any man's gonna ask, but I think if it, no man's gonna ask anyway. Let's just keep that G. But
no man's gonna ask what?
Nobody's gonna ask about your body count unless you're really.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, like I said, I'm the type of person. I'm gonna look at you and I can kind of figure out, and I'm gonna observe your actions too. I don't listen to just words. Listen, I'm a cop, so your words don't mean shit to me. I can tell when you're lying. You know what I'm saying? Or some people are good liars. You know what I'm saying? So I generally know what type of person I'm dealing with. If I can tell she been around, like, hey, I'm not gonna ask about your body count. It doesn't matter, good, bad, what type of person I see, how you are. I'm never gonna ask about your body count. I just will not do that. Like I said, like Malcolm said, you're probably gonna lie or give your wrong number. So I would never do that. But you do have men that do wonder. But like I said, if you have a high body count, I think basically that is something that you would not want to just come out and admit. So it's probably something that you're not happy about.
Okay. I've had someone ask me before. I'm actually a couple people ask me that actually.
Okay. Very strange.
And every time I ask them what was the reason of you knowing. I don't feel women don't sit here and ask a man a body count.
Yeah.
So why do I feel that a man needs to know a woman's body count?
And that goes kind of to social hierarchy. Yeah, and that's it. It kind of goes to like the hierarchy. Basically, like a man that's had sex with like most of women, he kind of viewed as like an alpha guy, and he knows his way around a woman's body. True or not, that's kind of how it's viewed. Now, a woman, it's just you're viewed as a hoe.
Which is fucked up.
It is, but then it goes back to that research, which, like I said, you gotta look at the video where the guy said basically the more mates that woman has sex with, that's how she's gonna be in marriage in the end. So.
Then again, that's not entirely true either. But I can't say that. But I mean, when you're just having sex with multiple people and there is no connection there, but then you find someone to have a connection with. So let's say I had sex with 20 men, and not any real deep connections with any of them, you know. But then I find this man that I want to marry. If I'm marrying you, I love you. I want to be with you. It's not about the sex that we had in the past. That should never even factor into my relationship today. Unless you're trying to say that I'm not, because I'm not happy in that relationship because I'm not ready to settle down.
Well,
That's how I would
say
say
that in a biblical way, in a traditional way too. The less sexually active, more, even the virgin was like viewed as like the mold that we wanted in a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we're not going to get that, but yes. So I think in a sense that is why men subconsciously may worry about a body count, because we want that we don't want to have to compete with Mandingo when we with her, because she's been around so much. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you wouldn't have to compete if you're gonna ask. You
well,
just keep that thought in your head. She's a virgin.
No, you can try.
If you want to know, you shouldn't ask. And that's what it is though, because when you get the numbers, you're either gonna be disgusted by her, or you're gonna be like, okay, sure, I guess I can go along with it. And that is why that becomes a conversation that's personal.
Like I said, I've never had to do that. I've never had, from all men I know, I've never had to do that, actually ask a woman her body count. It's like I said, some of us, we already know, or we heard about it, or, no, legit, we know, just we look at like, yo, like, look how she is, like, we know, like, you kind of, you know, then you got, like I said, you know, I'm a cop, so rumors get around, so, you know, then you got the shit that you know, because rumors got around. But I've never had a dude say I legit went and asked a woman about body count. Now you're saying it's otherwise, but I think men, we all wonder, but I never heard of a dude that actually went out and asked. You know what I'm
He
saying?
was bold motherfucker, but I mean, like, he asked, and I asked him, I was like, well, what did you need to know it for? Because I was like, I'm not asking you about yours.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, because I'm pretty sure yours is longer than a bitch. Like, it might be like 3 times longer than mine, so are we really gonna go there? Because what you need to know it for? Is it going to change your perception of the relationship? Because our relationship is based on what we have going on today.
So here's my thing.
Not what I did in my past.
Yeah, this is not a knock on you, but I think if you're asking that, then you kind of have an idea what person you're dealing with.
What?
I said, not a knock on you, but I think if you're asking that to a person, then you kind of might have an idea what person you're dealing with. If you feel the need to ask that.
I don't know. Like, I was reading this thing online one day, and this guy dumped this girl because he asked her body count, and she said it was like 4 guys. He's like, oh, I don't want to be with you anymore. You haven't had enough sex.
Wait, what?
He dumped her for that.
Okay.
Now, stupid, really, right? Dumbass, but too, because I was like, just because she said she had sex with only 4 guys, don't mean that she can have 100 times sex with like 400 times. You don't know.
Good point. Good point.
But I was like, at the same time, you know, that doesn't matter at the end of the day. Because sometimes, you know, you want to sit here and you want to know something. I think that is a conversation that should maybe be reserved more or less when you guys are married and y'all have pumped them up to have that conversation.
No, because you don't like to answer, then you're kind of trapped.
It don't matter
situation.
because what if I said to this guy, okay, married, I love you, all right? For better, for richer or poorer, for better or worse, whatever, and 60 it out. Obviously, my past might have been my worst. If you want to know about that, because it's rarely what you want to ask about my past. You know, you shouldn't be trying to beat me up about my past. I could have been a freaking accident around my past.
I think at that point you're hiding your past until you stuck with me.
If you're not asking me anything else.
But you saying you won't tell him, so it seems like you're in essence just trying to trap the guy.
I know I'm not trying to trap the guy. If you don't ask me, you don't ask me. If you do, you do. But if you asking me this question, to me that's really personal. Because that is a personal question. That's just like me. That's like you just come out to me first thing, hey, how you doing? Do you like penis? Like, that's kind of personal for you asking me that straight off the bat. And even if we've been dating for a couple of weeks, no, you shouldn't ask me that. Even if we're dating for a couple of months, I still don't even know you should be asking me that, because I still want to know what is the reasoning behind you wanting to know. If you can give me a legit reason why you want to know, by all means.
Yeah. Well,
no one's going to give you their whole past and lay it down the line for you.
Listen, I got some pushback for it, but like I said, I'm trying to get you out of here, so we'll watch the last one. And then we'll have to do another one at some other point, because Yeah, we go a lot of different tangents of what we're going on. So here's the last clip from Mr. Peterson and Nicole.
Like I was all about, yeah, I can act just like the guys and I can hook up with all these people. Like when I was much younger, I was like, I can be just like them because that's equal power, that's equality. And then I looked at all these female role models that I had, these pop stars, these Madonnas, these whatever. None of them are doing okay now. Like kind of the generation or 2 generations above me that were promoting super promiscuity.
Okay, so kind of agree with that. I think, and I think more because she was a celebrity, and I think celebrities are known to have the worst relationships in general. Let's be honest. Even Devon Franklin and Megan Good. Devon Franklin is a pastor, a Christian dude, prominent. Megan Good, she says she's a woman of faith. Hey, listen. She says,
it's not that. He said he's a pastor. She said she's a woman of faith.
well, I mean, well, no, I think, no, I was going to add to that and say, from what I've seen, she doesn't seem like she's anything, she's not showing me otherwise, you know what I'm saying? But, basically, I lost my train of thought now. Let me watch Cookie and see if it'll
It's
come
about
back.
promiscuity and how these women, these celebrities or these idols that they saw, they're not doing okay now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
so celebrities are known to have bad relationships, you know what I'm saying? So, but even when you got Devon Franklin and Megan Good, like they're preaching on faith and they still wasn't even able to make it. So I think with celebrities, it's not just that good of an option, but I think in general, I think celebrities influence a lot, influences a lot. So you got people like, once again, we use the Cardi B and all the WAP and all that stuff where it seems like being promiscuous and going out is good, but in essence, is really not. And these relationships are not even all that good. Cardi B said it was all the WAP and then Offset cheated on her. So, I mean, obviously, the WAP wasn't WAPing too hard. So.
I mean, it don't really even matter about that because I mean, when it comes to a man cheating on you, it's not about the sex between you and him. And that's not what it's all
Well,
about.
sex not gonna keep you, man. That's a given.
Yeah, so I mean, he's just doing it because he just wants to get some nuts, like, and
Well,
when
that's another conversation. But
maybe he didn't even bring himself down there for all we know. As far as
That's
promiscuity goes, you're right. She's right to an extent, but then you're wrong. Cause you can be promiscuous all your life, and you know that's what you preach about it. If that's the way you want to live your life, then they're probably okay just because you don't think they're okay. Don't mean they're not okay. That might be the life they just want to live.
I think generally they are. I don't think anybody wants to either settle with somebody or just be alone. One or two.
If they don't want to settle, they can still be promiscuous. And half the time, if they're rich,
your whole life. I mean, you can hire somebody if you're rich, but you can't be promiscuous your whole life.
yeah, you can.
At this point, no, I don't think any man wants to sleep with Madonna. Let's just keep it G.
If she's paying, he is.
Yes,
And that's
but that's an outlier. Let's just be a general. I don't think anybody's trying to sleep with Madonna right now.
But it's the
Unless
name of
they've
the
been married
game.
for like 10 years. And
What do you think you have prostitutes for? It's a profession where you have sex with somebody whether you want to or not. You're getting paid to have sex with that person. That's just what it is. So whether you think that he looks like freaking,
that doesn't have anything to really do. Like, this is the people that promote promiscuity. Obviously, prostitute and promoting that. She'll probably be in jail if she did. Huh?
Who are you promoting that?
I said, obviously, a prostitute's not promoting that.
Well, no, they're not. But I'm saying if you are a older